Hey guys, welcome back to Cars and HP. This will be my first news segment here. Um, so a lot happened last week. We had the new CTS-V Blackwing come out. We had the new Nissan Pathfinder, Nissan Frontier. We had the new Ford Raptor and the highly anticipated Tesla Model S redesign. Um, so let's get into it. First, we're going to start off with Cadillac. So the new CTS-V Blackwing. People were really looking forward to this. American horsepower here. So it's starting at $84,000 roughly. It's going to have a 6.2 liter supercharged V8 with rear wheel drive, and it's going to have 668 horsepower and 659 pound-feet of torque. Also, a kicker here, it comes with a manual. That's right. I know a lot of car manufacturers are getting away from that, and unfortunately for car enthusiasts like me, manuals are becoming more of a dying breed. But here we have one last car that might be keeping it alive for a little while. Now, in doing some research on this, the car looks great. The exterior looks awesome. I think Cadillac kills it with their designs here. Very sleek, very modern looking, very badass, I would say. Now, when I was looking into this here, Motor Trend mentioned that it competes with the Porsche Panamera Turbo S and the Mercedes-AMG GT63S. Now, I don't think so, because in my opinion, those two cars are upwards of $160,000, almost double the price of this Cadillac. Not to mention they would smoke the Cadillac, right? They're closer in horsepower numbers with the Cadillac, but it's 0 to 60 is way better. They're close to 3 seconds 0 to 60s, and even 2.9 in the Porsche. I think what's a better comparison is the BMW M5 and the Mercedes E63 AMG. The BMW M5 starts at $103,000, has 600 horsepower out of a 4.4 liter V8 twin turbocharged engine, and does 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. The Mercedes E63 AMG starts at $107,000 with 603 horsepower, and does 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, has a 4-liter V8 bi-turbo engine, once again, two turbos on there too. Both of them are all-wheel drive, so that's one differentiator there, and that is why the BMW and the Mercedes both have faster 0 to 60 times than the Cadillac. And not just right there. When you take a look at the interior here, I'll show you images over here on this side of the M5 interior and the Mercedes interior. Looking at both those interiors, that's like you're stepping into the Mercedes looks like a spaceship. You look at the Cadillac interior, you're looking at a Cadillac, you might even feel like you're sitting in a $40,000 car. When you're paying upwards of 6 figures for a car, you're looking for both performance and luxury. If you just wanted performance, then you go get yourself a Corvette. You go get yourself a GT350 or even a base Mustang GT. Save yourself that money. Buy the Mustang for the summer. Buy a SUV, a $30,000 SUV for the winter. But as a consumer, if this was me, I would easily go with the Mercedes or the BMW over the Cadillac. And that's just my opinion. But that being said, I'm happy to see these cars. I'm happy to see Cadillac trying to compete with the Germans over there. So happy to see it. But personally, I think they need to make that interior a little better. Moving on, we got the two new Nissans, the Pathfinder and the Frontier. Pathfinder, it's a good, decent upgrade, I guess. 284 horsepower, 259 pound-feet of torque with a 9-speed ZF transmission, so they're getting away from the CVT, so I know a lot of people will be happy about that. 6,000 pounds of towing capacity, which is pretty good. Here, the exterior of this car isn't that great, in my opinion. I think they could have done better. I think it looks a little too bland. It doesn't really stand out. The interior is fine for what it is. But I think for them to go in this direction, and unfortunately their design language looks like it's going to be like this when you look at the new Rogue and this. I think all of their SUVs will have this kind of look, and I'm not sure if it's the best look. Now, maybe it might grow on me, maybe I'm wrong, it's just my opinion, but I think they could have done better. I think they need to take more risk. But going over to the Frontier, I think they did a pretty good job on this one. They upped the engine on this car to a 310 horsepower, 281 pound-feet of torque, 6,720 pounds of towing capacity, and well-needed upgrade. I mean, this car hadn't been redesigned in over a decade. And in this car, I think it's the opposite here in terms of design. The exterior looks great. I think it's an awesome exterior for a pickup truck. But the interior kind of looks a little cheap and plasticky in my opinion. And at first I thought it was okay because maybe you're going for that rugged look because it's a pickup truck. But knowing that this is the Pro 4X trim that they're showing off here, and that's kind of comparable to like the Toyota TRD platform, that means this truck that they're showing you here is gonna cost upwards of $38,000 to $40,000. Now, for that much money, I'm expecting a decently good interior, right? Like nothing that feels cheap to the touch. And just looking at that interior, I think it looks cheap to the touch. I'm sure if I got in that vehicle and I start touching around, I don't think I'm gonna like what I'm feeling. But I could be wrong once again. These are just pictures. We'll know more when we get to see these cars in person. Hopefully, I'm going to try to start reviewing these kind of cars in person too, as they come available, and hopefully as I create that network, that relationship with dealership networks. Let's move on from Nissan here. I hope that they succeed. I really like Nissan as a brand. I am a fan of the Zs and the GTR and their and their heritage. But I know they had a rocky past with the ex-CEO, with all the fraud that happened and everything. So I really do want them to succeed and flourish again like they used to back in the 90s. Anyways, moving on, we got the Ford Raptor. Not much information here except for the images that we received from Ford and the fact that we know that there's going to be a twin-turbo V6 expected, and the expected start price is going to be $59,000 roughly. Once again, no official horsepower numbers, but it should be around 450, and the torque should be around 510. So not bad. You'd think that it would be more, but they're coming out with the Raptor R next year to compete with the Ram TRX, and it might have a supercharged V8, I'm assuming. Because that Ram TRX has 700 horsepower, has got the Hellcat engine that Dodge is just throwing into everything. So yeah, they're gonna have to come harder for sure. But it'll be interesting to see what that looks like, and we'll have to wait for next year for that. Now onto the big news here: Tesla with the redesigned Model S. I think the exterior is just some subtle changes. You're gonna get black trim rather than chrome. But the interior, way better. At first when the Model 3 came out and they had that landscape display rather than the portrait from the Model S, I wasn't that big of a fan, but I realized, and it grew on me, but I realized that that landscape portrait, the landscape view is better. I mean, it's more functional, gives you more space down low, and you're not looking down too far off the road to see all the, content on that screen. Now, yeah, there's also that steering wheel that looks a little interesting, more like a Formula One car. I doubt it's legal, and I know NHTSA is looking into it as well. I'm willing to bet we're going to get a normal steering wheel there. I'm sure it's not going to be like that. I looked into some steering wheel information, and like Formula One cars, they have that because they only turn 180, right? For U-turns and anything, they have that range of motion for the wheels that they only turn the steering wheel 180 degrees. Our normal cars, we got to turn our steering wheels 900 degrees. Therefore, it'd be kind of hard to do that steering wheel shuffle that we all do when we go for parallel parking or U-turns. So that's not going to be so efficient per se. Now, looking into the new trims that they've laid out, the base price goes up from $69,000 up to $80,000. But it's well worth it. We're looking at $80,000 for the long range, which is going to have 412 miles of range, 3.10 to 60, which is crazy, and 155 mile per hour top speed. That's a good bang for your buck, in my opinion, with these electric cars. I mean, Tesla's really pushing the range envelope here and performance. Then moving up, you got the new Tesla Model S Plaid. $120,000 gets you 390-mile range, 2 seconds 0 to 60, and 200-mile-per-hour top speed, along with 1,020 horsepower. That's insane. That is truly insane. And the crazier thing is that they really stepped up to Porsche here, because Porsche is claiming some great speed, some great battery performance, and Tesla kind of hit them back here with a cheaper, lower price point. Because if you want the better Taycan that they were saying in the beginning when it came out, it's the Taycan Turbo and the Taycan Turbo S. Those two are upwards of $160,000, $170,000. Now, I mean, that's just a Model S Plaid. There's also the $140,000 Model S Plaid Plus. That's going to get you 520-mile range and less than 1.99 second 0-60 timing. That's insane. 200-mile-per-hour top speed as well, and 1,100 horsepower. Now let me tell you, the Porsche Taycan Turbo and the Turbo S have a mile range of 190 or so. This has a 520-mile range. That's insane. That's more than double what the Taycan Turbo S can do at less price. I mean, you know, I know people will also argue there's also build quality and all that, but if you're looking at just performance, I mean, now the ball's back in Tesla's court here. You know, we'll see what Porsche does, but I mean, maybe they might not even respond back, but right now it seems to be these two duking it out, so I'm sure they will. And then what's more interesting, kind of segueing away from the Model S, is then what are we going to see in that Roadster? It's going to be insane, because when they mentioned it about a year or two back, they were saying it's going to have 620-mile range and about 1.8, 1.9, 0 to 60, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, with the new battery technology that they came out with, it's going to be real interesting, because I'm sure we're going to see better numbers here for that Roadster. I know Elon Musk, I don't know if he's joking or not, but he said he's going to put a rocket in there. I'd like to think he's joking, but honestly, it's Elon. I don't know. He probably might not be joking, but it'll be interesting to see. And if the price range is still going to be at 200,000 point, that's crazy, because you're going to have a car that's better than most Ferraris, Lamborghinis, even the Bugatti. I mean, for $200,000, that's a bargain, man. I'd say sell your house, buy that Roadster, for sure. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But anyways, that's it for Cars and HP today. I know we had a lot of news to get through. Once again, please like, subscribe, comment on any, anything that I can improve on. Share with your friends and family. I'm a growing YouTube channel, so, I want to try to get my content out to as many people as possible. Hopefully everyone enjoys it. Once again, I'm going to do more of these news segments, and I'm going to try to do more projects with my car as well, and with other cars as well. But, work in progress once again. You might see a change in where I am trying to figure out the best place to shoot videos. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.